for the NFL because it looks like the Jordan Davis we've been waiting for has arrived. And this, for the rest of the league, is a problem. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, there's a lot to be excited about with the Eagles. There is no question about it. One of the things I think that I'm most excited about is to watch people have to shut up this year. Guys like Mark Holmes and Sills and all these people who just continuously act like the Eagles have gone from Super Bowl champions to Super Bowl chumps. It hasn't happened, okay? They act like we haven't replaced any of our players, that none of these young guys can go out and perform. I really believe that the Eagles could actually be defensively as good, if not better, than they were a year ago, okay? To me, the key to this defense really is the interior defensive line. If Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter continue to play up to their potential, they will not only have the best duo of defensive tackles in the National Football League, but they will dominate on defense, okay? And Jalen Carter, we know what he is. He's one of the best, if not, I'll say top 3, top 2 defensive tackles in this league, in my opinion. And I'll say this, we know what he's going to give us. But if Jordan Davis plays to what his potential is, what his ceiling is, Jordan Davis and this defensive line is going to take off, okay? Not only that, but if you get a few things that happen, if Jordan Davis lives up to his potential, I'm getting texted again. If you get Ty Robinson and he lives up to what Jalen Carter said about him, I mean, it's amazing. These guys have all the potential in the world to destroy teams, okay? And we're going to get into it more in a second. I do want to bring up this one thing because I had a few people send me this yesterday. It said, former Pound Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd is generating interest from the Pound Eagles Fly. Now, I went and I tried to find where that is exactly coming from. I've seen suggested articles talking about Tyler Boyd coming to the Eagles to replace Jahan Dotson. I think Boyd's a good wide receiver, but I'm going to say this. I don't think there's any need to do it if you're the Eagles. Boyd is 30 years old. Okay, he's 30 years old, and Jahan Dotson's much younger. Jahan Dotson is playing for a contract, whether, probably not with the Eagles, but somewhere around the league. And I thought Jahan Dotson played well in the Super Bowl. Even in the playoffs, I thought he started to get more looks from Jalen Hurts. I thought that he actually started to contribute. And I think with a full offseason in Philly, I think he's going to be a bigger factor than people think or realize. There is no need to go out and get him. Plus, I'm telling you, I want another good look at Ainias Smith. I want to see what he is going to do for us. So I don't know. I just wanted to bring this up. I don't know where this is coming from. People ask me to comment on it. I don't see it as a realistic thing that is going to happen, okay? Now, as far as the Eagles go, Jalen Carter, we know, is an absolute beast. He's a beast. There's no question about it. But one of the things we've been waiting for, for a while, is Jordan Davis. When is Jordan Davis going to take that next step and show up? A lot of people have written him off, and I haven't. The way I've seen it with Jordan Davis is, clearly, one of the big problems that Jordan Davis was having early in his career was that he was not in shape. He was not in shape. He was not conditioned well enough to be on the field and get the snaps he did, and I think it really hurt him. But despite him not being in shape, okay, he still was a pretty damn good player. He still went out there and played pretty well. Just imagine what he could do if he's in shape, and what he can do if given more opportunity, more snaps, which I think he'll get if he's conditioned well enough to get it. And Vic Fangio, this is what he said about Jordan Davis yesterday.
Have Jordan Davis pick up his fifth-year option, and what does he need to do in his fourth year to warrant that decision?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that decision. That's Howie's. But Jordan last year, I would say the last 7 or 8 games, including the playoffs, played very well down the stretch. And I think that's carried over into this offseason. And I anticipate it carrying over into the season. I think he's in the best shape that he's ever been in, which he kind of got into late in the season last year, and he's carried it over. So I think he's going to do very well for us this year.
You don't typically see that. Can I just follow up real quick on that? You don't typically see guys get in their best shape late into the season. Why did it take so long for him to get in his best shape?
We could be here a long time for that. It's for some guys it takes time, but I'm ducking that question.
Out there, getting a little movement, get a little extra work. Fell in love with Peloton later on half in the season. Just putting in a little sweat equity, the little extra things. And when I did that and I was consistent with it, the trajectory for how I was playing definitely took off. I felt like my face was getting a little fat, and I wanted to look good.
Now there's a lot to unpack here with Jordan Davis and the comments Vic Fangio made, right? You can look at it, I guess, 2 ways. You could look at it like, all right, well, why isn't this guy going out there and been in shape and been conditioned way earlier? Why is it come to this point right now where he's finally doing it? And the answer is, I truly don't know. I don't know why. Why? Who knows? My guess, if I had to guess, is it's just a maturing thing. Davis just turned, 25 years old? It's part of maturing. And let's face it, when you're as big as him and you go through, high school and then even in college, man, you have an advantage all the time. You maybe don't have to work as hard or be as conditioned because, you're playing, you're on another level just physically. But now in the NFL, you can't get away with that. And it's taken him a while to understand that. Now, here's, so I guess what I'm saying is you could blast him for not being conditioned well enough. People could say, well, he should have been conditioned and better 3 years ago. The way I see it is in the biggest moments, Jordan Davis showed up. That's when he showed up. He started doing, what do they call it? Peloton or something like that. Peloton. I don't know. I heard an English guy call it Peloton. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like, because I'm going to do it my damn self. But I'm like, if it's I don't even know what the hell it is. I'm like, if this is something where, you're eating live, like eel from the ocean, I ain't doing it. But I guess it's some sort of bike riding thing. But he fell in love with it during the season last year. Jordan Davis and me used to hang out. He used to come out, we used to drink eggnogs, do eggnog shots at Christmas, and all of a sudden he said, yo, Philly, I can't do it no more, man. I got to go for a bike ride. I said, what? It's eggnog time, yo. And he said, nah, I got to go do my bike stuff. Okay, whatever. But in all truthfulness, he started getting conditioned as the season went on. And his pressure rate went up. He started getting more snaps. He became aware. Everybody became aware of Jordan Davis in practice, making a big move. And then you look at the championship game, and I think really the whole playoffs. But you look at specifically the NFC Championship game. He goes in the NFC Championship game, has a great game. I mean, that's a big stage. That's to go to the Super Bowl. He had a huge game. He's headbutting guys on the sideline without a helmet. I'm like, oh my God, you can see it. The light has gone on in this guy's head. Okay, then in the Super Bowl, same thing. So the way I see it is, okay, yeah, Jordan Davis might have started off slow, but he figured it out. He's in really good condition. At the end of the year, was impactful. Now he's going to get a whole full off season to be even more conditioned, in better shape, stronger, and I expect Jordan Davis to have a monster year. I mean, we've seen Jordan Davis come in and be, lighter than he was at the end of the following year, but he wasn't conditioned. He looks great. He looks great. Pause. No Diddy. All right, but he does, and I expect him to have a monster year. I think Jordan Davis is going to be a force to be reckoned with, and when you add him next to Jalen Carter, that changes the whole defense, because if you're getting pressure up the middle with those guys, teams are going to have problems, and it's going to make everybody's job easier. Who are you going to double? You're going to double Jalen Carter? Jordan Davis now is more than capable of getting to your quarterback. You got a problem. And then, to take it a step further, when you hear what people are saying about Ty Robinson, and I've done videos on it, he looks like an absolute monster himself. Even Jalen Carr spoke on him. Here's what Carter said.
Boy, fire. I ain't gonna lie, he moving good. He a big boy. I seen his highlights before he came. Knew what they was talking about, and he here and he working. And I think he gonna have a big impact this season.
So, I mean, you see why there's reason to be very, very excited about these guys. Now, of course, you've got to put the pads on. You've got to go out and do it. I get all that. But from where we're at right now, and the most that we can judge and look at on paper, the Eagles are in a really good situation. They are younger, they are faster, and I think now they are better at defensive tackle than a year ago, because Jordan Davis has taken the step that we've needed him to take. All right? And then when you throw in a Jomo on that, he's a guy that has developed every year. The Eagles have 4 legit defensive tackles. And then when and we'll talk about the edge rushers and other positions, on defense later. I kind of got to stretch it out a little bit because it is June. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can talk about. But I think that Jordan Davis, man, I'm rooting for him. I like the kid. I wanted them to draft him. I like his personality. I think he's a player. He's a winner, and he showed up at the biggest moments so far in his career. He can say, despite all the negative stuff that we've heard about him, right? He can say, well, in the 2 biggest games, guess what? I showed up. And that's the case. I think we're about to see a ferocious defense this year, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. With that said, take care. I'll talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. I don't know what to tell you, but there's never anything to watch on TV. I mean, stuff just stinks. It just does. There's really no series or anything I like, except for one thing. And it's back, baby. It's back. The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch is back. I love that show. I just do. And I believe that out of all these shows, where they're looking for stuff like Finding Bigfoot, ooh, they go out in the woods, like, ooh, and then they wait for it's something owl to chirp, and they're like, oh, Bigfoot's talking to us. No, he's not. All right, I never buy any of that. But if there's ever going to be a show that actually discovers something useful and real, it's going to be The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch. I'm glad it's back. Denzel Washington. Ow.
Oh, God. No. I want to be like the Eagles.
That's all, folks.